Good to see you. Let's talk to our students, young adults today. This video is for you students. It is springtime. It's that time of year when I'm sure so many of you, your friends are having conversations or your parents are having conversations about it's the end of the year. What are you going to do? What are you doing with your life? What do you want to do when you grow up? All those really pressure-filled conversations that you might not know the answer to yet. And we want to be a resource in helping you figure out what to do next, kind of taking some action steps so that alleviate some of the pressure.
I wish someone had told me when I was in high school that even adults don't have it all figured out. One of the reasons that we tend to put pressure on our young adults is because we wish we had it all figured out. So we think that there's some magic advice that we can give that will keep them from having to experience the hardship and finding themselves. But the truth is, the only way to the other side is through it all.
Yeah. Yeah. And I promise students, your parents are only doing and having all this pressure filled conversations because they want what's best for you. They have good intentions. They want you to be successful and happy. And it comes out in all kinds of crazy ways when you're about to leave the nest or you have left the nest and they're uncertain and there's all this uncertainty. So we want to help not take the uncertainty away because I don't think that's possible, but we want to help at least give you some ideas or tips and to guide you through on how to start to muddle through it all.
The main and most important thing that I hope everybody listening to this hears is there's a lot of voices out there probably telling you what to do and the best path, the most successful path. But the truth is, this is your path. Yeah. And you get a chance to explore and figure out where it is you want to head. Yeah. It is highly unlikely that you choose perfectly the first time. Most of us have to test and try and really figure out where our spot is. And that's how you learn, is by all of those wrong turns and missteps. And it's perfect and exactly the way to find out what is your path.
Yeah, I think that what to even do next is that question that panics people. Like, well, I can't fast forward. I don't know what I'm going to be. How do I even start to explore that? And I think that we wish there was a magic answer to say, oh, take this assessment. You should be a doctor. And I think some assessments try to do that. We don't believe in that. We think that helping you really start to navigate even which direction to start exploring is the most important part, to really figure out what's naturally interesting and the natural strengths that you were born with and how to start to use those. I think that's how we begin, right?
Absolutely. Well, and how hard though, when the question we're getting is, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do in 10 years?
Yeah.
What's funny to me, Heather, is almost all interviews in the working world have taken out that question of, tell me where you want to be in 5 years, because most people can't answer that thoughtfully. We're all making the next best choice we know how to make.
Yeah, most people, even when they've been in their career forever, can't answer that, much less when they haven't even started career.
Absolutely. And so the real trick, if there is one, is to start digging into who you are, what it is you're great at, what you love, and taking the first step in the direction towards what you think is for you.
Yeah. Tell me what we do. How do we do that?
Yeah. So the first step is digging into who you are.
Yeah.
It's starting to uncover what it is you're great at. You probably don't even know that those things that you're good at aren't easy and a superpower of everyone. So it can be really helpful to have a thought partner, whether it's a teammate, a classmate, parent. We work alongside students for that reason, that we can be a mirror to say, hey, you are really great at this thing, and not everyone is. Here are the different career paths where that superpower is so highly valued. So I think that's the first thing. There are tons of assessments out there. None of them are going to give you the magic answer, but they will give you a lot of clues. There's StrengthsFinder for students. There's Omnia Career Maze. There is something called the Holland Code. I'm sure your school has given you plenty of assessments too. So instead of taking those as the answer, it's looking through those and saying, what keeps coming up? What
Yeah.
are the clues about what I'm great at? And also what I'm interested in.
Yeah, it's kind of like that game Clue that I don't even know if kids play these days, but uh, putting the patterns and the common threads together. I was just looking at an assessment today, and it was so refreshing because it said, "I'm not going to give you a list of careers that make sense here. It's really about figuring out how you can apply what you're good at or what you're interested in into these different careers." And leaning into your strengths instead of trying to be good at everything or improve a specific area where you're weak. I know that I've been guilty of that with my kids, of looking at their worst grade and saying, let's go and improve that, instead of looking at the area they're strongest in and saying, oh, you must really have a natural talent for this area. Let's go look at what would be involved in that area in terms of occupation, career, courses, different internships, part-time jobs that could really test those things.
100%. It kind of feels to me, this whole journey to me feels like you're headed on a hike
Yeah.
and you get to the start of the trail and you realize you need a compass.
Mhm.
And the compass is starting to figure out what are your interests, what are your strengths, your desires, your values, and that's going to help point you in the right direction. You still will likely have no idea where you're headed. You'll just know which way to start going,
Yeah. Yeah.
not at the end of it.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think, um, and I have confirmed with my teenager that they do know what compasses are these days. And I think a compass is a great way to explain it, is just that general direction. So let's not spend a whole lot of time weaving around in an area that doesn't make sense for you, in those areas where you're weak or that don't come naturally to you. But let's at least head this way as we start to explore.
Yeah, I think it's the same way we're taught how to take multiple choice question tests. It's
Yeah.
like eliminate the one that you know is not right, and that at least gives you only 3 instead of 4 options of what could be right. And that's the same idea. The only way to know what's for you is to start testing and trying. So once you start heading down that path, is to try and explore as many things as you can. And somewhere along the way, you will have that feeling like you're really good at something, you feel in the zone, you feel so fulfilled doing it. If you can have a thought partner, a friend, coach, someone to go along that ride and talk with you through it, they're going to help see the things that maybe you don't see along the way.
Yeah. And we can be that resource. We can brainstorm with you to try to come up with different ideas on how you might test or explore or try those different things that come naturally to you. I think that's my favorite part of our student program, is really helping the students understand, and the parents, because we do share the information with your parents too, but sharing with the collective group all these ideas of how they can actually go out and see, am I heading in the right direction? It appears to be the right direction, but are we really headed that way?
Yeah, and what we'll include in the show notes is the guide that we use for testing and trying options.
Mhm.
It will have some thought starter questions so that you could DIY, do this on your own.
Yeah.
It absolutely helps you fast forward if you have a mirror and someone you're talking with through that journey of testing and trying. So I suggest you find a partner for the ride.
Yeah. I also think that it's really important for us to tell you that it's going to be okay. You're
Mhm.
going to find something, even though it seems at times that there is nothing out there, or you have no idea what it is that you want to do. To not be panicked about that, because I know that so many students, even when they start college, they go, "Oh gosh, this isn't it. I don't know it. I don't know when I'm going to know it." And there's so much pressure again from a college, especially these days. I know a lot of colleges make you pick a business school or a major or a school to get into right away, and it might not feel right, but you have to start somewhere. And so, what the heck? How do we do that? I think that's important these days.
Absolutely. And I'll piggyback on that by saying there's no one right way to
Yeah.
move forward. For
Mhm.
some people, an exploration year is required for them to understand where they want to go. That
Yeah.
wasn't a pause year and sit on the couch. That was an exploration year. Others of us, we change majors in the middle of school, and that feels, quote, wrong because we've wasted money. But I promise, just stopping and turning in the right direction in the long run gets you where you want to go much faster. So it's absolutely okay if you change majors, pause to choose a major, or even choose that college is not the path to success for you. There's so many amazing career paths that offer security and safety that don't require college.
Yeah, there's so many certification programs out there these days, and sometimes college isn't right then, but then you go out and explore and find that you really do have an interest or a passion in this area, and to grow or improve in that area, college would help. And so it doesn't mean you have to start it right after high school. I know so many successful people that didn't go to college or went later in life and then college is actually easier, more enjoyable, because you actually are motivated to go, oh, I want to do more of that. Yeah. And you
Yes.
still get to party a little.
It's really about picking whatever allows you to feel like you're getting closer to what it is you want for your life.
Yeah.
I would also offer up the suggestion that this can be a tough conversation to have with parents, but for the most part, parents, at least in my experience, want to know that you're making thoughtful choices.
Yeah.
That you're making choices with your future in mind. And so when you know that, you can approach parents in a different way. Taking assessments or getting clear on what you know you do want can be the first steps in starting to get your parents on board too for wherever it is you want to head.
Yeah, I think addressing what they've either said or you sense they're fearful about is a really cool way to interact with parents on this topic, because in the end, your parent is most likely just really fearful that you're not going to be successful or happy or make enough to move out of the house or whatever their fear is. And I think that if you've thought through some different options and are able to share that with them, they're going to be much more open to exploring different, more non-traditional choices. And non-traditional, I don't mean anything by that other than what's traditionally in their brains about what your next step is, because for every family and parent, that's completely different.
Yes, we'd love to help any student who wants that support to help discover what it is they want to do in their future, whether that's being a part of one of our programs or just giving resources and being a sounding board. We're here for any and all of it.
Yeah, we hope you'll give us a call for help or to join our program or whatever that might be. We're here to help.
Yes.
Awesome.
Bye,
Good talking to you. Have a good day.